So any question? Any question before I continue?
Teacher.
No, no question. So roughly what you have in mind, what you need to do. I repeat what you need to do, right? Wait for the other girl to come first, then I repeat. Okay, here already. Now, let me summarize what you need to do, right? In this maximum and minimum type of question, what you need to do is you have to know how to prove a formula. Okay, one formula, Now, in order to prove this formula has two variables. Like here. This formula A has xy. You have to prove one formula which has two variables. Okay, so how to eliminate one of the variable from the expression here? Now, they must give you some values, whether value of the area, volume, value of the volume, or some other values, so that or the length, right, or the length, so that you can find the relationship between the two variables inside the formula. Once you find the relationship, you can eliminate one of the variables. When you eliminate one of the variables, your formula has only one variable left, the A equal to something. Okay, so this topic is about differentiation. So when you get the final formula, you differentiate. Like in this case, differentiate A with respect to X. A with respect to X. Or you get the formula for C. So you differentiate C with respect to R. Now, if your C has two variables here, you must know you have to eliminate one of the variables. Okay. Okay. So far, you can recollect what you need to do or not. Find one formula, eliminate the variable, then differentiate the formula with respect to the remaining variable. Can remember what to do? Yes. Inside. Can remember what to do? Prove one formula. Formula has two variables. Eliminate one of the variable. Differentiate A with respect to the remaining variable. And if it equal to 0, then substitute back, get the answer. Then you may ask me, hey, the formula are very difficult to prove. If you cannot prove the formula, how? Leave blank. You don't leave blank. You don't leave blank. You just copy down. You look at question number 2 here. I'm pointing at the question. You look at question number 2 here. A equals to 2880x minus 540x squared. If you don't know how to prove this formula, never mind. You just assume this formula. You just differentiate with respect to x, put equal to 0, find out the x, substitute back and find the A. You still get half the mark. Pass already. Can pass already. Cannot. If you have no choice, you still do this question. If you have choice, all also I know, only this one don't know, then don't do. But all also don't know how to do. And this one, they give you the formula, you just differentiate only, just differentiate and find the value of x. You should do this question. If you all also don't know how to do, or maybe half you don't know how to do, then you should try this question. No need to prove the formula. You don't have the marks for proving the formula, but you still have the marks for differentiation, substitute, find the value, or you still get all these marks. Understand? Okay now. Okay, right. You know what I'm trying to tell you, right? Cannot. Okay, can. So this, your homework, the teacher asks you to do this. I have done all for you already. Answer also I have checked correct already. So you please try these questions. Answers are here. Practice 9.6. All these questions you choose at random. The standard of this question, they are more or less the same as your SPM standard. So except for this few, maybe some first part like that one very easy. So if you look at this one, they are more complicated. So you try, cannot do all, you just pick at random a few. Cannot do, you put inside the Telegram, then I do. Answers are all here for you to check, right? Cannot get answer, also never mind. You do until you get stuck, then you ask me. Snap the photo, then send to me in the Telegram. So I'm going to, okay, never mind. So this thing, if you cannot copy down, then this is recorded inside the YouTube. Okay, so when you go through the YouTube, then you pause. You pause, then you can read the question, then copy down the question and do from here, right? Answers also the same. You don't have to follow through the whole video. You just look at this page and you do the questions here. Any question? Any question?
No.
Sorry?
No.
You type. You have questions, you type. No question. No question, then I try to move fast lah. So before the holidays, we can start the new chapter already, no? Okay, no questions, then before the holidays, we can do integration. When is the holiday?
Next week.
Next week holiday. So I go through this one with you, right? The next application of differentiation is the rate of change. Is the rate of change, right? So as usual, when we start a new topic, I have to tell you the theory behind the reason, the theory or explanation, whatever, I tell you first, right? And after that, you try on your own. Exercise 2.12. There are so many questions there, and you have this book, the answers, they are there, so you try. Okay. Rate of change. Rate of change means what? It means that a certain physical quantity is changing with time. For example, let's say volume. Volume keep on increasing. Okay, so the volume is changing with time. How much is the volume changing? Oh, the volume is increasing every second 2 centimeter cube or cubic centimeter. So this 2 cubic centimeter per second is the rate of change. Okay. Now let's say, for example, area of a circle. Now, this circle is shrinking, shrinking. So how much is this area shrinking? Every second, the area becomes smaller by 3 centimeters square or 3 centimeters square or square centimeter. So every second it is shrinking by 3 centimeters square. So what I can say is that the area is changing. What is the rate of change of the area? Negative 3 centimeters square per second. Well, this is what they mean by the rate of change, right? That means a certain physical quantity is either increasing or decreasing with time. That is the meaning of rate of change. Okay, right. We proceed here. Rate of change. Now, let's say if x and y are two dependent variables, That means x depend on y depend on x, or something like that lah. And maybe one is volume, the other one is the radius of a sphere, right? So volume and radius, they are related to one another, right? Okay, t represents the time. Or in all questions involving rate of change, t is always the time. More or less, t represent time is a standard notation, right? Sometimes they will tell you t represent time. Now in the question, if it's an application question, they didn't say t is the time, but then you put down t as time, right? You introduce the physical quantity t into the question. Sometimes the question, there's no t there, but then whenever they say rate, you know there's a t there. T is not something that appear inside the question. It's something that you know and you put inside the question. Okay, right. So let's say x is a quantity, is a variable, and this x is changing with time. dx dt means the rate of change of x. dy dt means the rate of change of y. So whenever you see a d dt there, it is that quantity that is changing with time. The dt is not necessarily given. You have to know. You have to know that it's dt. Once they say rate, you know the dt is there. Okay. Now, if dx dt is a positive number, then we know that x is increasing. If dx dt is a negative number, then we know that the x is decreasing with time. X is decreasing with time. Okay, so far, you have to remember all these things lah. These are the things that you need to remember, because in any question, they just tell you rate of change. They just tell you rate of change. No? Then you must know dt. d dt, the d dt is there. Okay, now let's say, for example, we proceed. dv dt equals to 2 cubic centimeter per second. dv dt 2 cubic centimeter. Now, what does dv dt means? dv dt means the rate of change of v. Now, if v represents the volume, then dv dt is the rate of change of volume. So let's say you read the question there. The rate of change of volume is 4. Okay, let's say something like that. So you must know dv dt is 4. Nobody is going to tell you, "Woi, dv dt is 4." No, nobody is going to tell you that. When you read the question, you see the rate, then you put dt there. Rate, if it's volume, dv dt. If it's area, dA dt. If you see the word rate there. Then again, I look at this dv dt equals to 2 cubic centimeter per second. There are two things that I know. The first thing is dv dt represents the rate of change of volume. Then the second thing I know is, since this is a positive number, then I know the volume is increasing. Okay, the volume is increasing. How much is the volume increasing? 2 cubic centimeter every 1 second. Or this becomes like a physics question already. But you don't worry, no physics here. No physics here. Okay, only thing is you must know how to interpret the symbols. The question they will give you in terms of words, you have to translate these words into symbol. That's why I say you must know the dt. Right? If you don't know the dt, then you cannot translate them into symbol. Okay, another example, dA dt is -5 square centimeter per second. dA dt is, okay. Now, what is the meaning of dA dt? Jiayan, you know or not? What is the meaning of dA dt? Rate of change of A. dA dt means rate of change of A. Then I look at the number part, -5 square centimeter per second. What does the negative means? Even. Negative means what? Decreasing. It is decreasing. So the area is decreasing. How much is the area decreasing? 0.5 centimeter square in 1 second. Okay. So Why I tell you all this? Because in the question, you only see the words, you don't see the symbol. Symbol, you have to add in yourself. Sometimes the negative sign, you have to add in yourself. Or sometimes they tell you negative sign, you must tell them it is decreasing. Any question?
No, teacher.
No, no. No means whatever that I tell you at the beginning of the lesson, those are the things that you need to remember. Because you are going to make use of all this in the exercises. Right? Oh, another thing that you need to make use when you solve the problem is the chain rule. Do you still remember the chain rule? Chain rule. Chain rule is dy dt equals to dy dx, dx dt. Can you see here the y and the t here? Can you see that the dx and the dx something like cancel off like that? When you cancel off the dx and dx, what you get? Dy dt. Dy dt. Okay. Now, why I tell you like this? Because sometimes it's not y and x, sometimes it's a and r. Sometimes it is v and r, or v and h like that. But whatever it is, you must know the, how to say, the format, how you write down this chain rule. Huh? So you must remember how to write down the chain rule. Now, I'm going to show you two examples, one involving a positive rate, another involving a negative rate. Then I explain and I show you, right? So the question I've chosen is number 1C. Number 1C. Okay, so we read the question. For each of the following equations relating x and y, the rate of change of x is 2 units per second. Find the rate of change of y at a given instant, at the given instant, at the given instant. Rate of change of x is 2 units per second. Now, how are you going to write this in symbol form? Anyone? Rate of change of x is 2 units per second. How to write in symbol form? Qian Tong? Oh, disappear already. Call her name, then she disappeared. Gone for tuition. Then never mind. I call Jia Yan. How you write this in symbol form? You just say it out so that I know you can follow the lesson. Here, this one. Rate of change of x is 2 units per second. In formula, in symbol form, how to write? No. Li Yin, how to write? You say it out. Okay. Now they say the rate of change of x is 2 units per second. So I want to translate this into symbol form. Rate of change of x, dx over dt. This is the rate of change of x, dx dt. Okay, they say dx dt is 2 units per second. So in symbol form, you should write like this. Okay, now? Right. Then they say, find the rate of change of y. What does that mean? What they want you to find? Find the rate of change of y. Rate of change of y in symbol form is what? So this is what they want you to find. Okay or not? So whenever you read the question, you try to write this way. Can or cannot? Okay, can or not? Which way? Can follow or not?
Can, teacher.
Can. So when you read the question, rate of change of x, you put dx dt. Rate of change of y, you put dy dt. One, the value is given. The other one, the value is asked you to find. Okay, right. So can, then we proceed. Now the question is y equals to this thing, right? Y equals to this thing. What must you do? You must write down, since they ask you, they tell you the rate of change of x is 2, you write down dx dt is 2. Then for question C, when will this happen? This will happen when x equals to 2. When x equals to 2. So you write down x equals to 2. This will happen when x equals to 2. Because at different time, the rate of change, they are different. It depends on the formula. So you cannot assume that, oh, x equal to 3, x equal to 4, the rate is still 2. Not necessary. Not necessary. The dx dt equals to 2 is only when x is equals to 2. When x has other values, the dx dt may be different. Okay, right. So these two things you have to write out yourself. Then this question is about differentiation. So you differentiate and find out what is dy dx. So what is dy dx? You differentiate, bring down the -3, become -6. Then this one become -4. Differentiate inside the bracket becomes 3. -6 times 3, -18. And this thing you write at the bottom. Okay, right. Then it's like you want to cook a dish, a very simple dish. I want to fry vegetables. You want to fry vegetables, you have to, you see in the cooking session in the TV, ini ramuan dia. 3 sudu minyak, sediakan. Then they put inside one bowl or one plate, then put here. Bawang putih, chop, 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 chop. Then they put on a small plate, then they put there. Then sayur, potong-potong the sayur, put on a plate, you put there. So this is what I'm doing here. Ini bawang putih, ini minyak, ini sayur, like that. Where is the kuali? Ini kuali. The kuali here. dy dx, dx dt. Now the question just now asks you to find the dy dt, isn't it? So now you put down dy dx times dx dt. This is your kuali. Then after you book out the kuali, then you pour this inside, pour that inside. So this one you pour inside dy dx, what you pour inside, you pour this thing inside from here. Dx dt, what you put inside, you put 2 inside, 2 inside. Can follow or not?
Can, teacher.
That is the reason why I said when you read the question, you see the words there, quickly you change into symbol. You read the question, you change into symbol. You read the question, you change into symbol. What are you actually doing? You sediakan the ramuan. Then the formula for this topic, chain rule. Chain rule is the kuali, the wok, the frying pan. Right? Then you take, put inside, take, put inside, take, put inside, and then you fry. Right? So same thing here. Take, then put inside, take, then put inside. Okay, finally there's one x here. Oh, there's one more you didn't add yet. Now this thing, x equal to 2. So you add x equal to 2 inside. Then you get the number -36. Negative 36. Oh, you must know what is the meaning of negative 36. Then you refer to here, negative 36 is referring to dy dt, which is the rate of change of y. So negative means decreasing. So I say y is decreasing at a rate of negative 36 unit. No, decreasing, then you don't put negative anymore, right? The rate of 36 unit per second. Decreasing here means negative. So at this point here, you don't put negative anymore. Question. You go through all the steps, see whether you can follow or not. Then you ask question. Give you 1 minute.
Teacher,
Yes.
how we know dx over dt equals to 2?
Dx dt equals to 2. You look at this way here. Can you see my cursor, the black arrow?
Yes.
Can you see? Yes. So I read the words there. Rate of change of x is 2 unit per second. Rate of change of x, dx dt. So rate of change of x is 2. So dx dt equals to 2. Okay or not?
Okay, teacher.
Okay. Then they say find the rate of change of y. Find the rate of change of y. That means what is the rate of change of y? Dy dt. So dy dt that is what you want to find. But find dy dt or you don't know how to find or because it's not given. So here, that's why I say you have to remember all these things, the rules and this thing first. You have to remember all this. You know what I told you earlier in the lesson? All these things you have to remember. When you remember, then when you face the question, you change them into symbol as I have told you. So you have to find dy dt. Dy dt, you have to use the formula. So you write out the formula, then each thing inside the formula you add. You replace the dy dt, you take dy dt, put inside. Dx dt, put inside. X equals to 2, take x equals to 2, put inside. Okay, so here I put dx dt is 2. Then here I put x equals to 2. Where this thing come from? Now they say x equal to 2. Where this thing come from? Now here. Here. Okay or not? Can you see the x equals to 2 here?
Yes.
Yes or no? Yes. So all the things is actually laid out inside the question. So you take and put inside. Any question? No question, then I show you one more example. The example that I'm going to show you is question number E. Question number E. Okay, what is the question? Again, I read. Rate of change of x is 2. So what must you write down there? Begin. Rate of change of x is 2. So you write down dx dt is 2. Then here they say y equals to 2. What must you write down? You write down y equals to 2. But y equals to 2, you need to know what is the value of x. So you substitute back into the y here, y equal to 2, then you solve this equation. So when you solve this equation, bring over 2x plus 2 equal to x. X equal to negative 2. So what are the round one that you have prepared? X equals to -2, dx dt equals to 2. One more that you need to prepare is what? Dy dx. Okay, so find dy dx, you have to differentiate y with respect to x using the quotient rule. Can still remember the quotient rule or not? Differentiate, then keep the bottom, keep this one, then differentiate the bottom, we get 1. Then divide with the bottom square. So this is your dy dx. So what I'm doing here is, whatever that is given to me, I list it out. List out what is given to me. X, y, dx, dt, dy, dx. This one list out. What is the next step, Li? After list out all this, what is the next step? You refer to the
Y
example
over
there.
dt.
Ah, yes. You have to write down dy dt, then the formula. Dy dt and the formula. So next step, I write out dy dt equals to dy dx, dx dt. You remember this? You know how to remember this formula or not? The y and t. So here the top is y, the bottom is t. Then what is in between here? Same. It can be x and x, or if you not x, then it's r and r, right? If the variable in the question is r, then you put here r, r. If the variable is p, then you put p, dp here, dp here. Okay. So after that, you take the thing that you have listed out here, substitute into the chain rule. Substitute into the chain rule. Dy dx is this thing here. Substitute. Dx dt here, substitute inside. Still you have x. So you look for the x. X here is -2. Then put in -2. So everything is known. Use your calculator and you found out the answer to be 1. Right? But there's something special about this question, which is slightly different from the first one. Is they give you y. They give you y, and this y, you have to find out the x. You have to find out the x. Then only can substitute in here. Because with y alone, you cannot substitute inside here. So you use the y, find out the x, then using the x that you have found, substitute here. Okay, now I give you 1 minute, you go through, then you see any question that you want to ask. If no, then I repeat what are the steps that you need to know, right? Okay, right. So I repeat. Okay, I repeat. This is rate of change, right? Now, for rate of change, you read the words, you change them into symbol. You read the words, then you change them. So the words here, for each of the following equation relating x and y, the rate of change of y is 6 units. How to change this into symbol, Li? Rate of change of y is 6 units. What must you write down?
Pardon, teacher?
This one, I read, rate of change of y is 6 units per second.
Dx over dt equal to 6.
Dy, in this case is y, dy dt.
Dy.
Okay. Now, if you read the question here, you see, let's say b. Then you see here, y, then x equals to 2. X equal to 2. So you have to copy down, x equal to 2. Then the next step, what must you do? You find, you already
dy
got,
over dt.
correct. You want to find dy dt. Now dy dt, you must write down what?
dy over dx
The chain
times
rule, the formula. Okay. So once you get the formula, all the things that you have found, you substitute inside. Okay. Find dy dx, substitute inside. Find dx dt. Find. Or in this case, you substitute inside dy dt. 6 unit here, you don't put in dx dt, you put in here dy dt. Then you find dx dt. The opposite lah. This question
Okay,
number 2 is opposite. So we have to actually try these questions. Okay, so one more time. When you read the question, change them to symbol. Whatever that is given, take out, write it inside your answer sheet, your solution. Whatever that is given, you write inside your solution. Why? Because when you write out the chain rule, you need to substitute inside. But when you want to substitute inside, then only you go look for the things that you need. You cannot already. It's just like, oh, just now like example, I said, masak sayur. Masak sayur. Then I see, tak ada bawang oh. Tunggu. Then I go and take the bawang, find the bawang, then chop. Cannot do that. You must think first already. All these things, they say, Ram1 is the rate of change. Prepare the rate of change, write down first. X equals to 2, prepare X, write down first on the solution there. Then you just look at your own solution and substitute inside. Okay? If you don't write out, when you see this formula, the time, then only you look for it. Too late already. Then you sesat lor, then you panic, then you don't know what to do, right? So as soon as you read the question, change them to symbol. Whatever that is given, copy back inside your solution, inside your answer. Then you buka kuali, that is the formula chain rule. Then you put inside one by one. Oh, very simple that I said, I thought very simple, right? But then you cannot remember. So if you cannot remember, you have to go through the video again. So what is your homework today? Homework today is this one, application of maximum minimum. You cannot do all, never mind, you just do bit by bit. Then this exercise. Now these are actually X and Y. They don't have the application yet. Now the next exercise is the application, right? So tomorrow, let's say not tomorrow, Wednesday, we're going to continue with this one, the rate of change. But on Wednesday, I'm going to tell you the application, how to use the application. And also, I'm going to do with you the approximation. So we do approximation, then next week we can start with the new chapter. Okay, so meantime, you try, then you ask in the Telegram. So, any more questions?
No, teacher.
No, then we stop here. We stop here. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Yeah.